I've been going to my local library quite a bit lately, mainly because the librarian is really cute and she's always flirting with me. A couple of weeks ago, she suggested I join the Friends of the Library. They were having an intro meeting the coming Saturday. I thought it was going to be my big chance. I showed up, but she wasn't there. I thought maybe she was shy or something. Then some other lady started talking to me. She told me I had good energy. She wanted me to come to this group she belonged to. It sounded like some lame pickup line, but I didn't think she was trying to pick me up, so I asked her about this group. It sounded kind of like a cult, but it also sounded like some kind of weird network marketing group. That sounded pretty interesting, so I figured, why not? I told her I was interested. She said she'd meet me at Starbucks the following Tuesday evening. Then she'd take me to this lady's house who was hosting this network marketing thing. Just before we pulled up to the lady's house, she told me not to ask the lady how she got the house. She was a widow and it's a long story. Okay, whatever. There were plenty of delicious snacks, a lot of interesting but superficial chit-chat. Finally, we went down to the basement to have the meeting. It was an old game room with really nice speakers, really big speakers, really expensive speakers. I assumed the walls were soundproofed. Then we sat around in a circle around this big table. Then the lady, the widow, started chanting. The first thing I thought of is it reminded me of when you say a rosary with a whole bunch of other people. It's common for one person to say the first half of the prayer and then everyone else joins in for the second half of the prayer. Except this was in some ancient language that I didn't understand. Not Latin, but maybe something even older. Before I knew what was happening, I was chanting along with everybody else. I don't remember starting and I have no idea what I was saying. Then there were these kind of spirit entities that were surrounding the table. Once these spirit entities showed up, they seemed to be channeling themselves through the lady, the widow. Then each one of us at the table took turns channeling these spirit entities. It felt sort of like an out-of-body experience where I was watching myself, but at the same time, I could also feel these entities sending their energy through me, like I was some kind of a puppet. It didn't hurt, and I didn't really resist. It actually felt kind of comfortable. Then it stopped, and we all went upstairs like nothing happened, except everybody was looking at me, like I had done something extraordinary. Before, they were superficially polite, but after, they were looking at me with genuine admiration. I asked what happened when we got back to Starbucks. She said I'd passed. She said, "You are now a channel for one of those spirits. They are going to use you. You will belong to one of the witches in this coven. You will be used by the witch and her spirit guide to create wealth. Then you will be killed, and the witch who now owns you will keep your wealth." That's why I wasn't supposed to ask about the widow. That's how she got such a nice house. She did the same ceremony to her husband 50 years ago. He'd worked hard, amassed a fortune, and then the spirit left his body and he died. She kept everything. I asked if this was mandatory. She told me the only way out was death. Until I died, my life didn't belong to me anymore. I asked what would have happened had I not passed the spirit chanting test. She said I would have died, but it would have looked like natural causes. She told me that when the spirits were channeling through me, it was kind of like they were trying on a coat in a store. Whichever one I fit the best would now control me. I asked which of the witches was now going to benefit from my wealth creation. She told me it was the lady that had been flirting with me back at the library. I asked if I at least got to have sex with her, but she smiled and said no. Pretty soon I wouldn't even be aware of my actions anymore. Soon I would be a vessel for the ancient spirit working through me to create wealth for her. Talk about a scam. At least the food was good.